Hi there and welcome to Code Framer. So today we will be understanding about the bitwise operators in Python. So understanding bitwise operators will not only help to improve your coding skills, but also it will help you to create logics or solve problems in a more memory efficient and performance optimized way. Because whenever in future when you will be having a case where you are having limited amount of memory and CPU resources, then at that time bitwise operators can really help you to create code which is very memory optimized and also performance efficient. So understanding bitwise operators is very crucial because it allows us to perform operations at the level of bits when it comes to numbers. So understanding this concept becomes really important. So I would like you to concentrate on this video or watch this video right till the end so that you have good understanding of all the concepts related to bitwise operators. So having said that, let us first understand what is the definition of a bitwise operator, right? So bitwise operators are fundamental tools in programming that allow us to perform operations on individual bits within binary representation of numbers. So it is very important to understand that bitwise operators allows us to perform operations on numbers, and when it comes to numbers, it allows us to perform operations at the level of bits of those numbers. And also you know that in the digital world everything is ultimately represented in binary, right? Whatever data that we see in the digital world, eventually they are stored as ones and zeros or in the form of binary representation when it comes to our memory. So that's how the data is stored in the memory, right? So bitwise operator allows us or provides us a way to manipulate these binary digits at a low level. So now, having understood the definition of a bitwise operator, now let us see what are those different bitwise operators that are available for us to use. So we have the bitwise AND operator, we have bitwise OR, bitwise XOR, bitwise NOT, left shift, and also the right shift operator. So these are the different bitwise operators that we will be understanding in this particular video. But before going any further and understanding about these bitwise operators, I think there is one question that we have to answer first before we jump into these concepts. And that is, why bitwise operators? Why do we have to understand about bitwise operators? Because unless and until we don't answer this question, this concept will not be that interesting for you all. So in order to answer this question of why, that is why bitwise operators are required at the first place, the best way to understand the answer for this question why would be to see the different use cases where bitwise operators are used, right? So now let us have a look at the different use cases where bitwise operators are used so that we are able to understand that how important it is to understand the bitwise operators in the first place. So now let us have a look at the first use case, that is optimizations. So whenever you want to perform any optimization in your code because you have limited amount of memory or vCPU or CPU resources in your system, then you can always use the bitwise operators, because remember that the bitwise operators perform its actions at the level of bits of your data, right? So it is highly efficient. So bitwise operators are often used for performance optimization, especially in scenarios where memory or processing power is very limited in your system, right? So optimization is a very powerful use case where you can use the bitwise operators to perform optimization tasks in your application, right? So it's very important. And then we have, whenever you want to set any flags or masks or handle flags or masks in your application, then also you can use the bitwise operators, because again it performs all its operations at the level of bits, right? So if you want to store any flags or you want to mask any particular bit and you want to manipulate only specific or selective bits in your application, then also you can use the bitwise operators. So flags and masks can be efficiently implemented using bitwise operations. For example, using flags to represent states. So usually the states where you have something as active or inactive, or let's say you have something visible or not visible, so those kind of states can be stored in flags, and that flags you can maintain using the bitwise operators. And also when it comes to masks, so if you want to change only certain bits in your data, or if you do not want to change certain bits in your data, then you can use the mask and you can manage masks and flags using the bitwise operators, right? Then you have bit manipulation. So as I told that whenever you want to perform any compression algorithm, so you can imagine that in your compression algorithm you are basically shrinking your data, and your data is eventually stored in the form of zeros and ones, right? So you can use the bitwise operators in order to shrink your data, or basically representing your data in fewer bits. And in order to do that, you can use the bitwise operators. Bitwise operators can be very helpful when it comes to bit manipulation, which can be used in your compression algorithms. Then you have graphics and networking. So in graphics programming or networking protocols, bitwise operators play a crucial role in pixel manipulation, because when it comes to pixels as well, you could imagine that pixels are also represented in the form of binary representation. So they are also zeros and ones. So if you want to make any modifications in your pixel, then also you can use the bitwise operators, and that would make it very efficient, because you could imagine that there are millions and millions of pixels available in a single image, right? So if you want to manipulate the entire image, then you can simply use the bitwise operators in order to make those modifications, and that will make it very memory efficient and also very performance efficient. And also it can be used in color encoding or packet data parsing. So these are the different applications where you can use the bitwise operators to make it work very efficiently when it comes to both your memory and also your performance. Okay, so now after having understood all the different use cases where you can use the bitwise operators, we can now have a look at all the different bitwise operators that are available with us, and we can see how they can be used. So let us start with the bitwise AND operator. So let us first see what is a bitwise AND operator and what we can do with the bitwise AND operator. So the bitwise AND operator performs a bitwise AND operation on each pair of corresponding bits of two integers. So if you have two integers or two numbers, then first what you have to do is you have to convert those numbers into the binary representation of those numbers, and then one by one for each bit you need to perform the bitwise AND operation. So the result is obtained by setting a bit to 1 only if both the corresponding bits of the operands are 1. So which means that whenever you are performing the bitwise AND operation between two binary digits or two binary numbers, then if both the binary bits are 1, only in that case the result will be 1. If either one of them is 0, then the result will be 0. So this is the basic rule of bitwise AND operation. So now let us have a look at the example of bitwise AND operation just to understand how it works. So let's say we have two integers where one integer 12 we can store in the variable a, and the binary representation of this number 12 is 1100. And let us take another integer that is 7 and we can store it in the variable b, and the binary representation of 7 is 0111. Now if we perform the bitwise AND operation between a and b, then this is the result we get. So we can perform bitwise AND operation one by one. So bitwise AND between 0 1 on the rightmost end will be 0, then again the next bit 0 1 will be 0, 1 1 will be 1, and finally 1 0 will be 0. So the final result will be 0100. So which means that the result will be 4. So this is how you can find the bitwise AND between two numbers. So I hope that this is clear. So now let us move on to the next bitwise operator, that is bitwise OR operator. So first let us have a look at the definition of a bitwise OR operator. So the bitwise OR operator performs a bitwise OR operation on each pair of corresponding bits of two integers. So if you want to find out the bitwise OR result between two numbers or two integers, then first you will have to convert those numbers into its binary representation, and then you have to perform bitwise OR between each digits of those two numbers, right? So the result obtained by setting a bit to 1 if at least one of the corresponding bits of the operands is 1. So if either one of the operands is 1 among the two bits for which you are trying to perform the bitwise OR operation, then in that case the result will be 1. In all other cases the result will be 0, which is nothing but if both the operands are 0, only in that case your result will be 0. In all other cases the result will be 1. So let us take the same set of numbers, that is we will store the number 12 in the variable a and the binary representation is 1100, and then we can take the number 7 and store it in the variable b, and the binary representation of 7 is 0111. And now if you perform the bitwise OR operation between the two variables a or b, then the result will be 15. And how is it so? So if you perform bitwise OR between 0 and 1, then the result will be 1, as one of the bit is 1. Then again for 0 and 1 the result will be 1, and for 1 and 1 also the result will be 1, and finally for 1 0 as well the result will be 1. So only if you have 0 0 in both the operands, only in that case the result will be 0. In all other cases the result will be 1. So here the final result will be 15. So this is how you can find out the bitwise OR between two operands or two numbers. So I hope that this concept is clear. Now let us move on to the next bitwise operator, which is the bitwise XOR operator. So let us have a look at the definition first. So the bitwise XOR operator performs a bitwise exclusive OR operation on each pair of corresponding bits of two integers. So again, if you want to perform bitwise XOR between two numbers, then first of all you will have to convert those numbers into its binary representation, and then you have to perform bitwise exclusive OR operation one by one on each of the bits of both the numbers, and the result will be obtained by setting a bit to 1 if the corresponding bits of the operands are different. So whenever you have different operands for which you are trying to perform the bitwise XOR, in that case the result will be 1. But if the operands are same, which means if it is 0 0 and 1 1, in that case your result will always be 0. So let us have a look at an example to understand this particular bitwise XOR operator. So again we will take the same example where we will have number 12 stored in the variable a and number 7 stored in the variable b, and now if you perform the bitwise exclusion or between a XOR b, then the result will be 11. And how is it so? So the bitwise XOR between 0 and 1 will be 1 because they are different, and again for 0 and 1 it will be 1 because again they are different, and between 1 and 1 it will be 0 because both the bits are same, and finally we have 1 and 0 for which the bitwise XOR will be 1 because both the bits are different. So whenever you have different bits for which you are trying to perform the bitwise XOR, in that case the result will be 1, and if the operands are same, in that case the result will be 0. So this is the rule for the bitwise XOR operation. So I hope that this concept is clear. So now let us have a look at the next bitwise operator, which is the bitwise NOT operator. So first let us have a look at the definition of bitwise NOT operator. So the bitwise NOT operator performs a bitwise inversion on each bit of an integer. So if you want to find out the bitwise NOT for a particular integer, then first you will have to convert the integer into its binary representation, and then you can flip all the bits from one ones to zeros and zeros to ones. So it may sound very simple, but when it comes to storing the result of the bitwise NOT operation into the memory, that's where things get little trickier. So I would like you to hear this concept very patiently so that you are able to get the complete understanding. So now let us have a look at an example, but before we do that, we need to first understand that how numbers are basically stored in its binary representation into the memory. So when it comes to any number, let's say for example if we have the number 13 which is stored in the variable a, then the binary representation of this number 13 will be 1101. But since this is a positive number, in that case the first bit will always be reserved for the sign bit, which means that if this number is positive number, then the sign bit will be 0, and if it was a negative number, in that case the sign bit will be 1. So if you can see here that the first bit which is marked in red, it represents that this particular number is a positive number. So you can always remember that whenever the binary representation of any particular number which is stored in the memory, the first bit of that binary represented number will always be the sign bit, and 0 would mean that it is a positive number and 1 will mean that it is a negative number. So this is one of the basics that we have to understand before we understand about the bitwise NOT operation. So now if we want to perform, let's say, bitwise NOT operation on this particular number 13, then of course the binary representation of 13 is 1101 and the sign bit will be 0 as this particular number is positive. So in order to perform the bitwise NOT, of course you will have to flip all the bits, right? So 1101, which is the binary representation of 13, will now become 0010, which turns out to be 2. But remember that we also have the sign bit here, right? So the sign bit for 13 was 0 because it was a positive number. But remember that because we are performing the bitwise NOT operation on all the bits when it comes to 13, then the sign bit will also get flipped. So which means that now 0 will become 1 in the case of 2. So the result will be -2, right? So now which means that if you execute the bitwise NOT operation on the number 13, the result that the Python interpreter should show you is actually -2. But that is not the case. It will show you the result as -14, which is strange, right? Now let us find out that why is it showing like that. So in order to understand this, we have to remember that when it comes to storing the negative numbers into the memory, the Python interpreter will find the 2's complement of the number that it has to store, and then it will store that particular number if it is a negative number. So now in this case, as you can see that the result is coming out to be -2, but in the memory it will get stored as the 2's complement of -2. So which means that in order to find this result, we have to find the 2's complement of this number 2. Now in order to find the 2's complement of this number 2, we will have to first find the 1's complement. So which means that 0010, which is the binary representation of the number 2, will now become 1101. So this will be the 1's complement. Now in order to find the 2's complement, we have to add 1 to the 1's complement of 2. But before adding 1, we will have to understand one concept, that how addition happens when it comes to binary numbers. So if you add 1 and 1, in that case the result will be 0 and the 1 will get carried over to the next bit. And if you add 1 to 0, in that case result will be 1, and if you add 0 to 1, in that case also the result will be 1. So this is the basic of how binary addition basically works. So now if we add 1 to this number or binary number 1101, in that case the result will be 1110. And how is it so? So when you add 1 and 1, the result will be 0 and the carryover will be going to the next bit, which is 0. So 1 and 0 will become 1, and then you have remaining 2 1s. So the final result will be 1110, and which basically results to 14. But remember that initially when we flipped all the bits of number 13, then the sign bit also got flipped, right? So in this case, in our final result, the result will be -14. So this is how you can find the bitwise NOT for a particular number. But I know that this is fairly complex to understand, so you can pause the video and rewind the video and you can just understand the entire concept once again. But let us say you want to find the bitwise NOT very quickly for a particular number. In that case, what you can do is you can simply add 1 to the binary representation of a particular number and you will get your result. So say for example, in this case we have 13, for which we are trying to perform the bitwise NOT operation, right? So in that case, what you can do is you can simply add 1 to 1101. In that case, you will find the result as 14, and of course you will have to flip the sign bit as well. So you can just flip the sign of that number. So in that case, you will get -14. So that is also one way of quickly finding the bitwise NOT operation for a particular number. But in the background, what is really happening in the memory is something that you will have to understand. So that is why I explained the entire concept. So I hope that this was helpful and you were able to understand the bitwise NOT operation. But if you have any questions, then please post your questions in the comment section. And if you are finding it difficult to understand this concept, then just let me know in the comment section. I will create a separate video for this as well. So now let us move on to the next operator, which is the bitwise left shift operator. So first let us have a look at the definition. So the bitwise left shift operator shifts the bits of an integer to the left by a specified number of position, and this specified number of position is something that the user has to provide, and it effectively multiplies the integer by 2 raised to the power of the left shift count. So in order to understand this, let us have a look at the example. So let us say if we want to perform left shift on a number, let's say 5, which is stored in the variable a. So the binary representation of this number 5 is 101, right? So now let us say that if we want to move the bits towards the left direction by 2 count, in that case the result will be 10100, right? Because all these bits 101 has been moved to the left side by 2 positions. So in that case, on the right part, for the empty bits that are getting created because of this move, it will be filled with zeros. So now the result of this will be 20. And if you want to quickly find the result of bitwise left shift for a particular number, then what you can do is, as it is explained understand the definition that it effectively multiplies the integer by 2 to the raised to the power of the shift count, which means that here if you multiply 5 with 2 to the power of 2, because remember that we are moving the bit on the left direction by 2 positions, right? So if we multiply 5 multiplied by 2 to the power of 2, which is 4, in that case the result will be 5 multiplied by 4, which is 20. So with that formula also you can find the result of the bitwise left shift operation. So just to give one more example, if you want to move the bits towards left by 1 position, in that case the result will be 1010, because 101 is moved to the left direction by 1 position. In that case your result will be 10, which is 5 multiplied by 2 to the power of 1. In that case it is 5 multiplied by 2, which is 10. So I hope that this concept is clear. Now let us move on to the next bitwise operator, which is the bitwise right shift operator. So first let us have a look at the definition of the bitwise right shift operator. So the bitwise right shift operator shifts the bits of an integer to the right by a specified number of positions. So basically it is just opposite of the bitwise left shift operator, and it effectively divides the integer by 2 raised to the power of the shift count. So now let us have a look at the example quickly to understand the bitwise right shift operator. So let us take the same example where we are storing the number 5 into the variable a, and the binary representation of the number 5 is 101. So if you want to move the bits by 1 position towards the right direction, then in that case the result will be 010. And as you can see here that the bits that are getting emptied on the left side because of the movement of the bits towards the right direction, then the left side bits will be filled with 0. So in this case, because 101 is moving towards right by the position of 1, the left bit or the leftmost bit became 0, and remaining bits move towards the right direction, right? So the result of this binary representation will be 2. But you can also find this result using a mathematical formula where all you have to do is you have to divide 5 with 2 to the power of shift count, which means that in this case our shift count is 1, right? We have moved the bits towards the right direction by the position of 1, which means our shift count is 1. So in that case we can divide 5 divided by 2 to the power of 1, and the result will be 5 divided by 2, which will result to the number 2 or the result 2. This is also one way of finding the bitwise right shift operation for a particular integer. Now let us take one more example, that if you want to move the number of bits or the bits towards right direction by the shift count 2, in that case the result will be 001, right? Because 101 has moved towards the right direction by 2 counts. So in that case the result will be 001 and the result will be 1. And again by the mathematical formula, what you can do is 5 divided by 2 to the power of 2, because remember our shift count is 2 here. So in that case 5 divided by 4, and which will result to 1. So I hope that now you have good understanding about all the bitwise operators. In the next video I will solve some problems, some real world problems using the bitwise operators, which will enhance our understanding further. So till then, happy coding.